Hello, hello, hello. So today I'm talking about Karrine Steffans. I read her book, Confessions of a Video Vixen, way back when it was first published. And at that time, it was quite scandalous. Everyone was talking about that book when it first came out. Because I don't know if I can say she was the first, but she was probably one of the first to really start airing the dirty laundry of hip hop stars in a tell-all memoir. So at that time, it was salacious to me. And she has since reemerged back into the spotlight with some more publishing news. And so I decided to give it another read, a second read. But I remember when I first read it, there was one star who she would not name when she discussed him in her memoir. And this was back when I was living in New York, taking the bus. So, hello, my name is Tamika, and whether you stumbled upon Junkie for a Story or are here by intention, thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, please give it a like and subscribe by the end. Don't forget to hit the bell for notifications so you won't miss out whenever I release new videos. Also, I will provide a link in the description box for the book I am talking about in this video. Confessions of a Video Vixen by Karrine Steffans. If you are interested in more info on that book, just click the link. And now, back to the video. So I was reading that book whenever I had free time or whenever I was traveling, Now, that's not the type of book that you want to have out and about unless you don't mind conversations, because that book is a conversation starter, okay? I mean, I'm not into the modesty covers that people do with the romance novels because they don't want people knowing what they're reading. But I could care less who knows what I'm reading. But so I had this book when I was on the bus, and I remember this guy came up to me and he just started talking to me about the book. And that's how it was when that book first came out. I mean, if you had it, someone was going to talk to you about it, okay? And so this guy, I remember he came up to me and he was like, you know who she's talking about, right? And I remember I was trying to guess who she was talking about, but I don't feel like she left a lot of clues to make a good guess, from what I remember. So I think I was thinking it was Ice-T, but then I think she mentioned Ice-T. So I really didn't know. But then he was like, no, she's talking about Method Man. And I find that hard to believe because the way she goes into details about the men that she has slept with, I feel like Method Man is too smart to involve himself with someone who's loose in more ways than one. I could be wrong, but I don't see him. I don't know. He doesn't seem like the type, I mean. But anyway, I don't know if it came out, if she ever revealed who that one person was. But yeah. So anyway, I read this book again. And I forgot how short it was. So I read the audio this time. I mean, when it first came out, audiobooks weren't a thing, So I read the physical book. This time I read the audiobook, which is narrated by Karrine Steffans herself. And I must say, she has a very monotone voice. So I would have had someone else do the narration, but that's just my opinion, as is everything in this video. Anyway, so she narrates the story herself, and she spends a great deal of the beginning of the story talking about her relationship with someone by the name of Kool G Rap. Now, I think I don't know. She says he was not as successful as some other rappers of his era, but I can't remember if she said he came out in the late 80s or was it the 90s? I don't know. But apparently he had somewhat of a rap career. And so she was with him. I'm not sure if she would call him her first boyfriend, but it kind of sounds like the first, I'll call it situationship that she had, because she was very young when she got involved with him. And there was quite an age gap between them. He was a grown man and she was in her late teens. And then she had a baby by him, but she talks about that relationship a lot in this memoir. And it was, according to her, a very abusive relationship. And then she eventually escaped that relationship and moved to LA. And that's when the Video Vixen tales take place, right? Now, she's talking about a lot of different R&B bad boys, and I would say people in Black Hollywood, you know? People in Black Hollywood. It's usually Black celebrities that she is talking about. And she's listing off a lot of names, but I find it interesting that she chose to do a tell-all at such a young age, because I think now I don't know how old she is now, but when she wrote that tell-all, I mean, I know she's not young, like teenager young, but at that time, she was probably in her 30s or something. So she still had some years left in her to capitalize on her beauty in her Superhead days, you know. But, you know, once you write a tell-all, it's like people know what you're there for. So you've made yourself untrustworthy, you know. So I don't know. I mean, just like she basically retired herself by releasing a tell-all, but maybe that's what she wanted to do. I don't know. So she's talking about Bobby Brown and how he only had like $50,000 in his bank account. She mentioned DMX. She seems to like DMX, you know, or liked, I have to say in past tense, but she doesn't say bad stuff about him. She had a closer relationship with Ja Rule. Remember him? Nah. But, yeah, I mean, that was interesting. And this was before he got married to his high school sweetheart. I think she is his high school sweetheart, his now wife. But she had a relationship with him even when he was dating his wife before they got married. And she is blunt about showing no respect to other people's relationships and marriages. She's always dealing with married men, you know. Like I said, there was Bobby Brown. I really can't think of who else she was talking about, but I mean, she basically is a gold-digging social climber who used her body, her voluptuous body, or could you call it that? She's kind of on the thin side, but she used her body to her advantage because, you know, she was homeless. And it was interesting to hear her talk about being a single mom, because when she tells her story about being homeless, the only time you remember she's a mother is when she said she had a son in the back seat of her car when she was sleeping in a car. But she seems to... There's some vanishing facts that take place in her story, because she doesn't really seem to talk about who's taking care of the son when she's out doing all this Video Vixen stuff. Is what we'll say, okay? Anyway, it's an interesting book, but I must say it didn't age too bad. The stuff that she's talking about in that memoir, it didn't sound so dated, because it is like 15 or so years. Well, this is 2023. I don't know, 15 to 20 years old. I don't remember when it was first released, but I would say it didn't age bad. But I do think she came across a little desperate, and at times she could have kept certain details to herself. There was one incident with actor Merlin Santana who was murdered. And I just feel like the story she told, she used his celebrity just to just get that one in there, which it just didn't seem necessary. Like, she could have kept that story to herself, but it just seemed like she wanted to be associated with someone who was a celebrity who died young. I don't know. She just seems a bit opportunistic in her storytelling. But that's what we have. And so the reason I decided to reread this book is because she has recently released news that she is coming out with a fiction novel. She's going to write a fiction novel similar to her Superhead persona and those type of stories. So I am curious to see what she does as a novelist. I don't know if I'll spend my money, but I might borrow it from the library. I mean, it has been a while, you know. It has been a while. But, yeah, we'll see how she does with this. I mean, I guess the cash was running out and she's no longer with Bill Maher, so I guess this is what it is, you know? I mean, because nobody's coming close to her anymore, but anyway, we'll see what happens with that. There's no word yet on the title or anything like that. I just know she said she's bringing back her Superhead Video Vixen persona to write some novels. Actually, that is incorrect. There is a title. The newest novel is The House of Ill Repute. It should be interesting. We'll see. But I must say, she does look good. I mean, I don't know how old she is, but she looks good. But yeah, since she has branded herself a professional snitch, I think she doesn't have the sway to infiltrate Black Hollywood the way she once did. And that's why I thought it was odd that she came out with the tell-all at such a young age. Because it's like, she had more years left to, you know, use that ability. You know what I mean? Like, most people come out with a tell-all, you know, when it's over and done, you know? And it does sound like she needs some money. I don't know. I'm just saying, she hasn't been doing nothing lately, so maybe you should have used that card a little bit later in life. I don't know. But anyway, we'll see what happens with this career as a novelist. I look forward to reading whatever she's going to write, and I'll let you know what I think if it gets published. All right, well, thank you for watching and listening. Please like, comment, subscribe if you choose. And let me know if you read Confessions of a Video Vixen, or if you remember Superhead from back in the day. She did used to get a lot of mentions in hip-hop songs, but yeah, it's been a while. You know, I mean, I was surprised to even hear that news that she was back. I mean, she's been quiet for a minute now. All right, well, I'm going to get out of here. I'm done. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.